All right, good evening, investors. Welcome to our class tonight. How's everybody doing? Let's get this thing here. Put this here. You should be able to see a screen. I think we are all set and ready to roll. Okay, let's review a few things and now talk about some positions here that we're going to look at. We have, you can see it here on the screen. We have our open portfolio as well as off to the right. You can see the symbols that we're currently in and playing and the ones that we are possibly looking at playing. We'll go over those in a minute. I want to start with the market today. Typically, if you look at history, don't make any bets on this or anything, but usually the day after a 3-day weekend is green. It's just the way it goes. So no surprise really today. Well, it ended up being a pretty good day actually, the way it finished up and near the highs. I'll pull this up here. You take a look at the daily chart of the spiders here. Very much up near the highs, getting closer and closer and closer to that 1550 to 1575 mark. We're at 1530 right now, so that's pretty good. Our positions, we had a decent day today, and you can tell it's getting a little tougher, right? Notice the positions sloshing around a little bit more than playing along with the market. There's a lot of, you can see it individually as I go through here. You can see people taking a little profit. VRX, you can see people taking profit. So symbols that are good and strong. I mean, there's no doubt when you look at our charts, we're playing very strong symbols to the long side. You can start to see profit taking. So you can tell we're getting near an area that people are concerned about. As well as look at some of our newest plays, right? They're not off to the races like they have been over the past 6 weeks, right? They're taking a little longer to get started. There's a little more back and forth. There's a little more hesitancy. So you can kind of really tell that the market's heading into that area around 1550. So we're going to definitely keep our focus and keep the symbols that we are looking at. I'll bring back up the spreadsheet here real quick once I find my thing. There it is. A couple things to point out. For those of you that are new, this is a spreadsheet that we're working off of. It has all of our positions in it. It has all of the targets. It has all of our stop prices. We will adjust those. Actually, we'll adjust those here in class. I haven't done that just yet. A couple things to point out. We had GIS at the top of our list here. There it is. GIS hit our second target today. This one, incredible, right? Patience always pays. So I used to say when we did a lot of day trading, the more patient you are in a position that's moving in your favor but really slow, usually pays off. Over the past 3 days, GIS just blasted off, hit our target of $45, and so what you see on our spreadsheet is it blue. I don't like using black because then you can't see what it is. So we always put it in blue, representing that this is a closed position now. We have hit our targets. We have almost 14% on the second part of our position, and now we're done with that. So I leave this up for the remainder of the week for those that can't make it tonight and maybe don't get a chance to see this recording in the section or in the members page. We'll go over it again on Thursday. And then after the week is over, I'll take it off the spreadsheet. No need to track it for any further. Moving down, so what we do then is over here, we're going to just take it off. We hit our long-term target, and so now that position is done and over with. All right. NWL, the second one on our list here. This is, like I was saying, there's a lot of positions that are kind of sloshing around. There's a lot of bigger names out there that are just sloshing around, not quite moving higher with the market, and I think because what you're seeing is the starts of some profit taking. So NWL, not a whole lot to say there. We're doing quite nicely on that position. We also have our protective stop locking in almost 11.5% on that one. $25 is our second target, and like I've been saying over the past couple weeks, I'm not going to be moving targets up anymore. For those of you that are new, these two right here, this is where you see the two targets that we're shooting for. And neither one of these targets will ever be lowered. We don't believe in that. That's emotional trading. That means you believe that you are wrong and you shouldn't be in the trade anyways. So we will only raise our targets. All right? And so over the past, well, going on 7 weeks now, we've been raising our targets as our plays have just been moving higher and higher and higher. Well, now that we're approaching the major resistance area in the market, we're going to stop raising our targets and start to wind out of this portfolio. Like GIS, let these plays hit their targets. So as NWL gets to 25, it actually may be the start of a new move. That's fine. We'll come back to it if the market really proves itself. Otherwise, we're going to let it hit that 25. Moving down the list here, PKI. We hit the first part. We're going to let it hit that target. We'll no longer adjust it. Okay. Time to time, you will see that we'll raise the targets. I've just made it pretty clear over the past couple weeks. We are done raising targets. It's time to lock in these profits as we hit them and reduce the risk on our newer positions. Okay. And to tell the age of the position, you can see the entry dates over here. See? All right. So NWL, not much more to say on that. It has been quiet over the past week and a half to 2 weeks. We're still shooting for $25. We'll come back to that in just a minute to raise the stop on that one. All right. Moving on to PKI. All right, PKI, been kind of quiet ever since that. Sorry about that. Been kind of quiet ever since it's kind of had a big selling day. We had a lot of profit taking there. Nothing new to report. If you take a look at our spreadsheet there, we're locking in 8%. I'm probably going to leave that stop right there so we can hide right under that 50-day moving average. Remember, we raised it last week with the intention that that 50-day would catch up by now. And so far it has. So moving on. VRX getting closer to that 68. Remember we came like 2 cents within hitting it? Yeah, 2 cents from hitting our target. It's since pulled back just a little bit. Not a big deal. We're still shooting for 68. We will leave that where it is, and we'll adjust the stop here in a little bit. FBHS, nice little pop out of that one. It's just taking a break. I don't think there's any reason to react to it, to do anything different. May have found a temporary top, but if you take a look at our spreadsheet here, we've already hit our first target. We're sitting pretty, and although this shows that there's a 2% risk still on the play, we've already made 8% on the play. Right, so we're just waiting for that second target or for it to hit our stop. And in reality, we can inch this up a little more, can't we? Let's see what 0 get. 31. I like that. So we're now 0 risk on that play. And if you look, there you go. We're hiding right under the 50-day moving average. So I do like that. We will make sure to change that now. And there we go. Okay, moving on. Target. Target, again, some of our newer plays here, you notice they've been kind of sloppy, right? They're just sloshing around, not always following the market, when for a while they were. Every position was just up with the market each day, down with the market the next day, right back up with the market the day after. Kind of just goofing around here on target, so nothing new to report. We are basically right back where we started on this one, actually down a touch. All right. We have our stop currently at 4%, so all we've been able to do to this one so far is reduce the risk little by little. Our stop is at 59.52. We're going to come up on that a little bit now that we're setting in that low. That gives us 3%. So now we put our just a note. We're changing our stop to 60.14. It keeps us just under this low right in here. So really that's all we've been able to do there with target, is reduce the risk. That's not bad. We're down to 3% risk with unlimited upside, so we'll see what happens. Microchip. Actually, this should be blanked out. We hit that last week. We have hit our first target. That was a nice pop on Microchip that we had off of a gap. And so that's looking pretty good. Our second target is very close, just overhead, just a little bit further to go. We hit 37.63 the other day. Very close. We're shooting for 38. All right, so this is another one where are we at? 32.64. We can bring this one up as well. See that 50-day over here? It's about 33.5. So we'll inch that up just a little bit. I don't know if we're going to get 1% out of it. We'll stick with 2%. Now, when you're looking at this, you go, well, we're risking 2%. If it falls from 37 all the way down to 33, we lose 2% on this portion of the play. And we've already hit our first target, right? And the first target is usually 8 to 12% is what we're shooting for. This was a touch under that, okay? So we have about 7.5%. If we give back 2% on a smaller position, really, we're only giving back 0.75% would be the number of the overall position. So looking good on Microchip. Still, this little box here, I highlighted it just to let you know we're getting close to the 38. Make sure you have your orders in there. We've talked about this a couple times, so I'm sure you guys are set on that one. Now, notice if you're new, check out one thing here. And some of our new group there from overseas, check this out. This tells you here whether we're long or short, right? And I usually color code it. I see we're missing one, right? And so you can look at it very quickly and see, are we mostly long or mostly short? Very easy. We're pretty much long. We have sprinkled in a few short plays and said, look, just be careful. Let's be generous with that stop. Let's have that full stop. Reduce it very carefully and very slowly because obviously, you know, the market's straight up. You don't want to be short. You know, there are people out there that have been short, you know, trying to pick the top, and they've got to be just frustrated. So we're just trying a couple. Now, the first one didn't work out. This HP, I'll pull it up. It's still on my screen here. This HP popped just a little bit higher. Maybe it was a little bit of a short squeeze there just to get the last, or, you know, stop hunting, they call it. Maybe that happened today. We'll see. We might come back to this one, but our first go around didn't work out on that one. And you can see how tough it is to be short by looking at pretty much any symbol and assume that you were short that play. A little bit tough, right? It's hard to pick those out. So we've been staying mostly long, and that's where we're finding our money right now. So that one I'll delete there as well. Gill is actually our only other short position. There we go. And it fell pretty quickly once it broke that 50-day moving average, and it's been slowly climbing its way back on some kind of mixed volume. Not really all that exciting. We've got our stop. We've had the opportunity to reduce the stop just a little bit. We're saying we have it at 38.16, and we're basically just saying, look, stay under these highs right here, right? If it comes all the way back up and goes through the highs, we want to be out of it anyways, because look at the long-term chart. This is the weekly chart over here. And where is some big time resistance? Basically right there at those highs. So if we get over that, we kind of want to run away, take our little 6% loss and just get out, right? Because there's no stopping it from there. So that's Gill. That's our only other short, and that's pretty much the way the short side is going to stay for now. I don't want to start guessing when the market's going to roll over. And we don't have the opportunity to reduce that stop, so let's clear that out. There we go. And let's move on. VCI, the newer play for us here. It's had a great couple days ever since it pretty much took out some highs. It's been a nice uptrend. There's not much bad to say about it since we bought it. It's one of our better movers. We currently have our stop at 26.68. Notice that 50-day, it's creeping up. So we can get pretty close to that when we raise our stop. And let's see. We want to go VCI. There it is. So we can get it down to 5%, 27.55. So that's not bad. We're reducing risk. Now, that's kind of going to be a key focus. As the market, and I'm going to do this. I'm going to put the S&P down here on the bottom. All right, back it way up. Here's what everybody's looking at. This is not real. It's a bad tick, I guess. Everybody's looking right here, saying, holy cow, look, back to 1999, and then again in 2007, we're hitting this all big high here. So everybody's thinking, man, there's no way. I mean, we're gonna come back, and the market's in this huge range, right? And that's fine. I don't have an opinion, but we're anticipating that probably not going to just go flying right on through those highs without at least pulling back a little bit. Now, if you have an opinion like that, here's what you could do. Let's say the market goes up to that high and it blasts off through it. Are we going to benefit from that, or are we going to be in trouble? Well, like we were saying a minute ago, we're basically all long, so we would benefit from that, probably by a lot of these symbols hitting some targets and going from there. Now let's take another scenario. Let's say the market goes up into this high and starts to pull back. Are we going to benefit from that, or are we going to get hurt? Well, what are we doing here? Every single week on Mondays, which is when we raise our stops, we're reducing risk because we believe that it's probably going to pull back before it goes through the highs, or if it does. And so we're reducing risk. And notice how I've been saying on these plays, we're locking in 11%, we're locking in 8%. These here, even though it shows break even, we've already taken our profits. So we've got profits here, profits here. These two, oh, sorry, this one down here, Microchip. If it loses that 2%, we've already locked in almost 8% or 7.5%. So we're going to make money there, right? And we're going to continue to do that. So therefore, if the whole portfolio pulls back, we're going to make money, make money, make money, make money, make money. Lose probably, we would lose 3% on this one. We're going to make money, although that shows red, right? And then we're going to try to get these newer positions to a point of reduced risk as well. Okay, so those of you that are playing along, I know there's quite a few of you that are playing right along with this portfolio. That's great, but you have to focus on the overall portfolio. Don't worry about each individual trade. That's great. We made 14%, and that sucks that we lost 7%. But those are just one trade in the midst of all that. All right. So VCI, as we continue to protect, we now have a new stop of 27.55. I think that works nicely, at least for this week. Let's move on. We got just a few more to look at. Mortgage, remember they had, or MTGE, I always call it mortgage. They had a secondary last week. They took care of it, and it's been clawing its way back ever since then. Not much to say. Been a little bit quiet, slowly moving higher. We don't really have an opportunity to reduce the risk there, do we? Not really. I don't want to be too tight on that one. 200 at 24.75. Can we come down a little bit? We can come down to 6. That's as far as I want to go. Yeah, it's too far. I'm going to say 7%. So we're reducing the risk a little bit, but this is such a new play. I don't want to get too tight and then we get dinged out. So I'm just going to bring it up a hair. We just got in this one, so let's not overdo it. I'm going to stick with that. Now LOPE, L-O-P-E, also a very new play for us. Took out the highs today. That's always a good sign when you're in a symbol and it busts out to new highs. That gets some attention. We're at 23.28. That's fine for now. For those of you that look at the post-market activity, this is up another 5%, almost 6% after hours. So we're in for a pretty good day, at least to start, for tomorrow. I show sales around 26.89, 26.90, 26.98. So, that's up here. So we're well into new highs off their earnings. I always put the earnings over here. All right, so if you like LOPE, so earnings is on the 19th. That was today, and I'm guessing it was after hours. So that's a good sign. But as of now, we're up a little bit on that one as it moved up to new highs. Looks like we're going to be up another 5%, 6% to start the morning tomorrow. We'll see how it finishes. The highs after hours is 27, so maybe just a heads up here, right there, that 27.50. If it gets excited tomorrow and it just pops and takes off, we might hit that first target, and then we'll come back here and reduce the risk. You know what I mean? So there's nothing to do with it right now. It could open up lower tomorrow. That so far it shows it's gapping up, but that could all be taken away in the morning. So we won't adjust that just yet. Not too bad, not too bad. And then BCPC struggled today. Kind of interesting here, this BC. It's a very light volume stock. I mentioned that last week. If you're going to play along, this would probably be one of the more aggressive ones. Remember when we first took FBHS up here? Low volume, a little bit risky, kind of a newer name. BCPC falls in that same category. Struggled a little bit. Finished at about the halfway mark today. This is our newest play, so I don't know. Not much to say there. I think our stop's in a good place right now. I don't want to raise it. I think that's fine. So overall, what we have now is a portfolio that we've reduced risk from top to bottom as much as possible, and these guys down here, as they do better, we're going to focus on those, right, and try to get those to reduce the risk as well. The idea is to protect, protect, protect. You got that exactly right. Yeah, so, exactly right. So not about. So is that saying? So don't worry about the individual trades. Think of these as all one big chunk. That's yeah. It's just you're a portfolio manager, right? I give you $100 million and say go to town, but I want to see what you're doing. I want you to protect my money as best as possible. I don't want you swinging for the fences and picking one trade and seeing what happens. Yeah, it's that mentality. Manage the whole package. Yeah. It can be boring at times, like this GIS, we had it forever. Can be boring at times, but when you get there, right, it all pays off. That was our oldest play. Now it's gone. Okay, let's talk about some plays for tomorrow. I think it's on the spreadsheet here. Yep, I got them down here. So that's the overall portfolio. We're up almost 6%. We'll see what happens. These two plays here, seems like I was going to say something else. Forgot what I was going to say. Don't you love that? It'll hit me. These two here, MOS and WY. Let's start with MOS. We've got an entry price of $62.50. We're going to start with our full risk on that one to give it the room to move around. 8%. 8 to 10% is the furthest I'll go on a stop loss. I think 8% is fine for MOS. We have our two targets listed here, and it has not triggered yet. So for those of you that are new, you're going to see, okay, $62.50. If you know how to place that order ahead of time, go ahead and do it. Or if you're just sitting there by the computer, when MOS hits $62.50, right, I'm going to buy it. You can buy it. You can play along if it hits $62.50. And see how it's not there yet. It's at 61.46. So we don't buy it tomorrow and go, well, he's going to buy it at 62.50. I'm going to buy it at 61.50. None of that. Wait for it to get to 62.50. It's that old. Maybe one of you guys remembers the guy's name that said this, but if you're going to make, we're shooting for 8 to 12% on the first part of our position. Does it matter if we make the 8 to 12% from here to here or from here to here? I mean, realistically, does it matter? If we're going to make the 8 to 12%, does it matter if it's from here to here or from here to here? Doesn't matter. If that's what you're looking for, you take it wherever you can get it. I like to take it when I'm pretty sure that everybody else is taking that same shot. So it doesn't matter if it's from here to here. I just want to know that other people are trying that same trade. And so my belief is 62.50 gets us over this little short, unbelievably short base, but it wipes out this junk from today, and it'll probably push us up and over those highs. So that's what I'm waiting for. Now, if MOS starts going like this, right, you go up, comes down, maybe up a couple days, and obviously there's no trade. It never hits 62.50, and at some point, usually within a week, I'll bring it up in the class and say, I don't think we're going to get it, guys. Let's just cancel that one. So that's MOS. And then WY, what we're looking for on WY is an entry of 31. I love these plays where they're really close to the weekly 200. And at the moment, that's where we're at. So we've got a $31 entry on WY. We've got our normal standard 8% stop. We got these two targets. And so again, we're not there yet. Good possibility we're going to be there bright and early tomorrow morning, $31. But we're not there yet, so you don't buy it early. Wait for that 31. All right. And with that, I think I've covered it, haven't I? Yes. So the question is, are these the new stops? These highlighted over here? Yes. Yep. Short and weak today. Usually we do it on Mondays. So I thought we'd just do it here in the class. That's what we're working with right there. So we've adjusted on 5 different plays. Now, yeah, these over here, just to let you know, we're getting close to the target. I suppose these ought to be different colors, if that helps you. And do something like that. That's fair. I just try to draw your attention to it. Whatever color is fine. All right. How do you come up with this number is the question. So I do it I do it manually, kind of the hard way. You just take the sum of the open positions here and then hit divided by however many you have. It's not a, I mean, it's static. I just do it every time I adjust this. So like these aren't included in that. See how it doesn't include any of that? Yeah, that's it. Oh, and then just change it to, format it to percent if you want, obviously. Yeah, and then it changes. Like, let's say LOPE is up to 27 or something, right? See? Let's say the market's open. I'll change it for you. Yeah, I'm sure you have it in your brokerage statement as well, or online when you log in. Oh, yeah, thanks for reminding me. On Thursday, 2 days from now, we're going to have a little open house. Just kind of talk about stocks and talk about the market, let people ask questions. This will be open to anybody that'd like to join us. So you can email me if you're looking for the link. Generally, we post it on Facebook if you're looking for the link. Or you can email me if you want to send it to a friend or something. Just kind of hanging out, just kind of talking about whatever positions those of you might be in, or if you got a friend that has a question or something. No big deal. Just kind of talk about the market and stocks, and hopefully teach people something as well. That'll be on Thursday, same time as this class is here. You can email me if you need the link. Otherwise, you should be able to just log in through the page there. Dustin@tradingwings.com is my email. And always, if there's any questions that you guys have, and it's Friday night or something, send me an email. You'd be surprised how often I check my email. I like talking trading, so I'm always kind of available. And if I'm not, then I'm probably fishing or maybe golfing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if there are no further questions, I'm going to wrap it up. Have a great rest of your day or evening, wherever you're coming from. This is always archived. This will be posted on the private members page shortly. All right. Yeah, you too. Thanks. Adios.